Let us see. Let me check Twitch. Oh, yay, some Christmas music.
What do you mean Christmas, man? This is horror music.
Oh.
It's what gives children nightmares.
It did. Aww.
Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? 'Tis the season. Ho, ho, ho. I don't know, what day is
we are
the
live.
25th, 24th, something like that? I don't know.
Yeah, 24th, Friday, Christmas Eve, and 25th is Christmas Day, Saturday.
All right.
So you guys will be doing your show on Christmas Day. Like we did on LWW a couple years ago.
I mean, like, I'm the wrong person to ask about dates and stuff like that. But, all right. If it's that day. Hey, what's going on, everybody? We are getting ready for a very special
Hi, Foxy.
show that we do every Wednesday.
Yeah. Linux Weekly Daily Wednesday.
There we go. Now we got the regular music coming in.
Yeah.
All right. There you go. That'll get you in the mood. That'll get you in the spirit to do the thing, because once again, there's still stuff to talk about just because you're off work. I know it's weird, right?
Yeah, it is. It is. I got 2 weeks off. Yay.
Things are still happening, though.
Absolutely.
And hey, look on the bright side. We're even going to irritate the guy from the creator of App Images this week.
Yeah. Yeah, Foxy has 3 weeks. It's nice.
3 weeks off. 3 weeks was nothing to do. See, this is why it's important to have hobbies and side projects. I would go stark raving mad.
Look what Steve Husband is working on. That's the gift for his brother. Those are whiffles. These are cute little creatures that him and his brother made when they were kids, and they always wanted to have a wiffle circus. So Steven made a wiffle circus diorama for his brother. Isn't that cute? Oh, I'm sorry, Darkwing.
I'm still trying to wrap my mind around what it is.
Cute little
What are wiffles supposed to
creatures.
be? This is what we're trying to get. Yeah, puffball creatures.
Yeah. It's something they came up with as kids.
Soft good figures. All right. All right. Right on.
Yeah, the peanut gallery, that's it.
So a couple people are getting a couple of days off. What do we have coming in? No time off for Darkwing. Arthurian's peacing out. 3-day weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, I am Arthur, and I'm enjoying the holidays this year because we actually get to have a holiday and not on lockdown.
I fear a lot of people are finding out, possibly for the first time, that having time off from work hits differently if you're working from home.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
That's a whole different can of worms.
I know. It used to be everyone kind of always had the same, got vacation about the same time and ended it close to the same time. And now everyone's just, some people it's in January, some people it's December. It's life at work. Yeah. And that's the downside. So true, Jordan, to working from home is that you always have things you need to do. And then you have all your chores on top of that. You're like looking around the house. Oh, I need to go to the store. I need to fix this. I need to fix that. So there's something to be said to going to an office and then coming home and just.
And those people need to die out.
Yeah. Yeah, Steve Husband. He has a hard time being able to leave work.
So exactly what is Secret Santa? I think I understand the concept of it. I'll go ahead and spit it out for everybody. That's where you buy stuff for people, but nobody knows what bought what. So it's like, wait, hang on.
Correct.
Now I have additional questions. Like, do you get to direct your surprise gift towards a person? Or is it like, hey, we'll just put them in a pile and we'll fight with butterfly knives over them?
Sometimes both. I've been, sometimes we call them, draw names. It's kind of like a white elephant gift party. So usually, you draw a name of someone in the group, and of course they don't know you've drawn their name, and you try and figure out what gifts they want or need, and then surprise them. And that's a lot. It's a lot of fun when you can do that.
See, that's the thing, though. If I'm doing that, everyone's gonna know it was me that got the thing.
Yeah, yeah. Because it might be a skeleton or an evil-looking snowman.
No, it's going to be a life-size Antonio Banderas blow-up doll. You don't have to buy a gift for everyone, just one person. And
that isn't it. It's really fun for big families. I grew up with a family of 6 kids, and that was what they did every year. Instead of buying, presents for everyone, they would be the Secret Santa for one person in the family. And that makes sense both monetarily, and it's just easier.
All right, so I had a rough idea how that worked out.
Oh, yeah, Romeo, you have a lot of kids, so I could see that that would be perfect for you, the Secret Santa. Although it's hard when you have the 2 parents and then lots of little kids. Oh yeah, so I have a cool mug penguins playing in snow. So cute. This is my mug actually I use for hot cocoa.
What do you use? Do you get a different mug for cold cocoa?
I actually don't mind cold cocoa, but no. I just have a couple hot cocoa or hot white chocolate mugs. And Arthurian, look, I have my penguin, light up penguin lamp going.
Is it, Jordan? Is it? I mean, come on. Do we really need philosophy on a Wednesday?
Yeah. It pretty much is, yeah. Especially if you make hot cocoa with milk. Or you put ice cream in it like Steve Husband does for me. He's been putting in
that just seems like
peppermint
it's a bunch of extra steps, man. Why don't you just microwave some chocolate milk? Cut out the middleman. If it's the same thing.
Nice. Well, it's nice in hot cocoa because it cools it down because I don't like my hot cocoa that hot. I like it warm.
I need people putting milk in the microwave and nuking it for about 3 minutes and getting back to me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, actually, that's one way I used to make hot cocoa, but...
Yeah, it's not going to be quite the same, is it?
Yeah. Steven does it just over the stove, so... Hi, Katana. Thanks for the resub.
Rum to hot cocoa? I don't know. I posted that thing last night in Discord with a somebody was talking about chocolate chip cookies and orange juice. And the response was, you, sir, are a living war crime.
Yeah. That doesn't sound good to me.
Well, I mean, they have chocolate orange stuff, don't they?
Yeah, and that's good, but in watery form with pulp on it?
Yeah, so you can scoop the pulp out and suck it off the cookie. Sounds delicious.
I'm not a huge fan of chocolate chip cookies. I actually prefer sugar cookies or oatmeal cookies or salted caramel. I do like the cookie dough. I'm not big in chocolate in my cookies. I don't know why. But I like chocolate and other things, but not in my cookies.
Snort rails ground up.
Snort ground up cookies.
That'd make you a cookie monster.
Oh, I do love white chocolate macadamia cookies, but it's a much different flavor because I like more vanilla and creamy flavor.
Okay, so you can have the warm vanilla creamy flavor with your OJ.
No. Well, I'd put vanilla ice cream in with OJ because that would be like a 50-50 orange creamsicle. But it's better with Fanta orange soda.
It's better if we just cut anything remotely healthy all the way out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, Steve Husby loves oatmeal raisin. And we've been getting these homemade oatmeal raisin cookies. Oh, I do like them. They are good.
Oatmeal raisin. That's effectively the grape nuts of cookies, isn't it?
Yeah, but easier to eat. Easier to eat. And they are a bit healthier for you, except that there's tons of sugar in them, and that makes them good.
Well, it's like somebody's like, well, I'm going to drink lots of glasses of OJ. And I'm like, that's basically pure sugar, right?
Yeah. I only have that once in a great while.
I like grape nuts.
Yeah, Stephen eats them almost every morning, and he puts them in his oatmeal, actually. And I do too, except I can't eat them because they hurt my teeth.
They don't go good with ice cream.
I do actually. I have had them on ice cream, and I do like them because I like peanuts on ice cream. Like crunchy, gives a little crunchiness to it. But I do like them. I just can't physically eat them without them hurting with my mouth. You gotta
grind them up and snort them.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, I could grind them up and just have the dust. The grape nuts dust.
Listen, man.
And it's not.
Steve, you were around in the 70s. You probably got some cocaine accessories laying around that house somewhere. Yeah, just like that.
Yeah. I think I better go take a break real quick so we can get going. Look at the kitty. Aw, poor kitty. Actually, to the kitty, that's like kitty litter.
Calories yeah. I mean, fruit's junk food. I'm not saying, like, give yourself scurvy or anything, but just gotta keep that in mind. Try to keep that in mind. Why would you squeeze OJ? I don't know. You ever just bit into an orange without squeezing it? I don't think I have. Well, you see, this is a lie. Because I was about to say, the reason I don't really tangle with oranges so much is having to peel them. Conversely, give me a lemon, I'll happily sit there and peel it so I can eat a lemon. I like lemons. Limes are lemons. Or tangerines. When I think about tangerines are like the little ones, right? Ah, man, you see, there's the life hack. Just don't drink water straight. Mainlining water, not even once. I genuinely put packets of caffeine in my water, if you're wondering. That's why I'm so energetic. Small, sweet, and salt. I don't know. I don't eat a ton of fruits. I mean, I guess lemons are a fruit. I'll mess up some lemons, but I'm not against blueberries. Grapes on occasion, but that's about it. Much rather have the veg. So, let's see, we got the shots. I think I'm in focus. That was great. I didn't notice that I was just slightly out of focus all day, all night, Saturday. Until I was editing on Sunday, and I'm like, well, too late to do anything about that. All right, let's put together. You could replace lettuce with cabbage and you would be frighteningly accurate. Eat a lot of cabbage. How's your run of eating nothing but takeout going? Avocados. Avocados, man. That's guacamole, right? You can't go wrong with cabbage, man. Cabbage is awesome. So let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things to talk about on today's show. So we're not going to be too terribly long. I got to get back to practicing. I got to get to racing. And setting times. If anyone's interested in the announcements tab, the Trackmania server is up and running for Friday. And it will continue running. And it will store your times. So feel free to pop into that. Bring me on. I think I was able to go around every map last night. And I pulled out like the dumb ones. You know, the ones that like, no one's going to like these. Or the ones that are just multi-lap where you just keep running around in circles the entire time with no finish. I didn't put up any impressive times, but it's something to get everybody started. Something to get everybody started. It's Hot Wheels Racing. It's a very, very approachable game. I mean, it's not going to be as awesome as the Dark Souls. The Dark Souls board game. Jeez, that's like... How does that even work, man? I don't even understand how that's going to work. I don't know if it's necessarily a board game. I should probably look that up. Dark Souls. I'm going to type in Dark Souls board game and we're going to see what we come up with. I don't know if it's going to be anything good. The board game. Okay, it is a thing. It's out of stock. Oh, and it's $124? What? Prepare to die in this brutally hard dungeon crawl miniatures. Oh, it comes with little stick figure people. That's what people wanted. I got it. All right. It's one of those things. You could paint them. How do you even... Of course, it's got expansions. It's got DLC to a board game, man. Lovely. How do you play, though? Do you just roll dice to die? 27 miniatures, 47 tokens and dials. It's a card game, maybe? I will have to watch somebody play this because my very, very simple brain does not process how that works. Dark Souls is a board game. That seems like that would function about as well as turning Uno into an online competitive fighting game. But okay, I'm assuming it is like with any board game. You can't say with any board game. You can. I'm assuming there's going to be some RNG nonsense in it, right? The Unkindled Steam Forged. I don't know, man. Okay, now, do you think we can go full circle, though? Do you think we'll get an online version of the Dark Souls board game? That's what I need in my life. It's in Tabletop Simulator? All right.
Gosh, I had a sneeze attack. Not fun.
I don't know, man. They can be pretty entertaining sometimes.
Just having a hard time breathing as I kept sneezing.
Be in the middle of just trying to do something like, oh, we're doing this now. Okay, everyone stand back.
Yeah.
Dark Souls Go. I would buy Dark Souls Go. Are you kidding me? I'd love it. That'd be great. That's perfect. Because all you do in the Go games is you die a lot.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hi, Becco Farm. How you doing? And Romeo said, vicious. It's always wonderful having you in. Yay, it's good to see you.
So we, are you going to behave? Not you. You. Yes. I'm debating on buying... Ugh. I was like... Universal Apollo has released a cost-reduced audio interface.
Oh.
I don't want more crap, Jill, is what I'm trying to get across.
Yeah.
That
you do.
That is
I don't need another
immediately one of those, like, I will do this. We will find out how it works on Linux. It will go back into a box and on a shelf.
Oh, yeah. You're starting to get quite the collection.
See, that is not something that's not in my vocabulary of like, this is my collection. This is,
Yeah, Vin's not a hoarder like myself.
I take no joy in having, I mean, the only joy I take is when I get hit up by TAC or somebody on the Fados mailing list and like, I'm having a problem with X, Y, Z. I'm like, hang on, let me go grab one. And I can hook it up and troubleshoot it with them. Like, hey, we get you working good. So that's about the extent of it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, everyone. Yeah, we'll give it a go. We'll give it a try.
Okay.
Get that bounced over. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yes. So I can scroll all the way down here. There it is. Cool. Tap. 1, 2, that's a line. That shot's good. And browser's good. We know that. We've confirmed that in previous tests. We get recordings. We get extra recordings. I always have extra recordings. And on top of that, have an extra recording. Have 3 recordings of your audio. You think that's excessive? You do. A 4th if you count the online version.
You're an audio hoarder.
The technical reason you do that is when you think about it.
Backups.
I have had to resort to have lost all 3 of the locals. Fortunately, I was able to pull it out of the live stream.
Yeah. No, very good. Always have minimally 3 backups of everything.
I don't have any backups of the video.
Mm-hmm.
I have live stream, which I've used.
Audio whore. No. Aren't there?
Well, she did now.
Yes.
I'll just use that as the opening for this week's show.
No. Don't make me read bad words like last week.
You know, you're right. You're right. I shouldn't do that, Jill. I'll make a 10-hour version standalone of just that. To the Nutcracker theme. All right, everyone. Hey, welcome back to Linux Weekly, Daily Wednesday, where we sit back, relax, take that midweek break, kind of just talk about some of the fun things that we found going on in the world of Linux, open source, anything else that kind of catches our attention, open sourcey stuff. And I'm Vin. And
I'm Jill.
Somebody's just cursing up a storm before we started recording, man. I'm just like, geez. No. And then, like when I curse up a storm, I don't blame it on the audience. How about you, Joe?
Yeah. Well, I just want to wish everyone, including Vin, a happy holidays. And happy holidays to all our hosts on Linux
Hail
Gamecast
Santa.
and to our wonderful viewers and patrons. Because I am going to enjoy my time off. That's for sure in the holidays this year.
And if you've been alive this last year, you might have been stuck working at home or very glad to work at home. Having the time off during holidays hits a little differently than when you're like, oh, so I don't go in the office, but I don't have to do anything. Then you got to be careful because you're like, well, I could catch up on stuff. You're like, no, don't do it. Save yourself. Something I've been playing around with. I don't encourage anyone to undergo this adventure, but this quickly became I got to get this done, is setting up a retro gaming server from 2019, right? I know retro. I got the Trackmania 2 Stadium server. The setup is basically complete-ish. All the tracks are loaded for this week that we're going to be playing. Thanks to everybody who helped me test it last Friday. We had some fun. I tried to keep it to like a regular staging map. I wanted to see what the load was going to be on the server and what I can get away with. But it's up right now. If you want to hop on for some practice, you can set some records. That was like the big thing I had to get set in because it'll do record tracking locally for us. So we'll be able to do against each other. You know, if we're out of sync, if we're not all playing at the same time, you can get on and practice. And next person's like, oh, okay, let's see if I can beat that time. Then we're going to go at it again this Friday. Live. We'll be on Twitch, 7:30 p.m. So we'll invite everybody to hop in. I'll keep it to 10 players. If you want to get on Discord like we were last week, you don't need video or anything. You just hop on. We're not really keeping score, but, you know, we're keeping score a little bit. That was an adventure. It's Trackmania 2 Stadium. It's probably on sale, winter sale. Of course, that's at launch today, and I went to my wish list. Like, man, those were the same sales they were like 2 weeks ago. Never mind that. But yeah, that's all I did yesterday, Jill, because I ran into
I was just going to say that Ven has worked really hard to get
that
up
very
and
hard.
running.
I worked angrily. There's a difference. That if you've ever tangled like legacy stuff, which this shouldn't be like, I can say this, and I'll hit a lot of people right in the feels. I ran into situations like, oh, this runs on this particular version of SQL, 5 series. I'm like, that's not too bad. Also, this version point release of PHP. And only this, or you're going to be editing 100 and something files by hand to update. Like, oh, okay. Fortunately, I started off, you were following me in Discord yesterday. I was rolled back to CentOS 7 with a forced downgraded version of SQL just to get things up. We got done with that nonsense. The server's running on Debian 9, but it's running. And hopefully it's not a seething security risk, but it's backed up. I don't care. I can nuke it from orbit. There's nothing of value on it other than just the scores, but getting the database and all that. It's there. Go play with it. I'll be racing again in it tonight because I'm practicing. I'm coming to win, kids. Old man Vin is going to be spanking you youngsters or oldsters because that's how I'm going to roll. Now.
Cool.
Let's start off with something that I would only have interest in if I could weaponize it.
Oh, yeah. So get your holiday cheer on with your Linux desktop with these festive snowing apps. Yes, we're going to go there because 'tis the season.
Because it's you, man.
It's me. And actually, before we get started, I want to show everyone this cool shirt.
Oh, no.
This is a user-friendly shirt that Iliad made back in the late 90s. And it's got Tex the Penguin on top of the Christmas tree with all the characters from the comic.
All right.
It's quite special. And I see all the snow, Vin. It's snowing on LWDW.
You say that? But I was out of snow, so I had to use dandruff. So if you're using GNOME Shell, you can install the Let It Snow GNOME extension, and this will add a layer of continuously falling snowflakes over your entire desktop, like what you're seeing on the screen here. Ven is doing to my camera. I got rid of it because I was going to start messing with it. I was like, what color can I make this snow?
Well, what's nice about this app is that it actually does run on multiple monitors pretty nicely, and you can adjust how much the snow drops. But there is another snowy app, which is my favorite, called Xsnow. And Xsnow works with an X11 session and the desktop or X window manager of your choice. And unlike the Let It Snow GNOME extension, it is a full animation suite. It with Xsnow, snow falls in from top of the screen, and then it will land on the tops of windows that are open and pile up. And then when you move the window away, the snow falls and piles up at the bottom of the display. So it's really cool, and the physics are accurate. And it's really awesome. And you can add Santa's sleigh being pulled by reindeer, trees and houses for scenery, or even meteorites. And there's which are falling stars.
Merry Christmas.
And there's
rating death.
Yes.
I guess if you're in charge of like deploying business laptops or any other stuff that, the employees can't change anything, let it snow. I mean, that would absolutely drive somebody crazy. Now, one thing I do want to bring up, Xsnow, available in Debian repos. I checked before the show. It has an interesting history. I mean, it started its life on Mac way back in the early 80s.
Way back when.
Like, I want this Mac to snow. I'm like, okay. And real development didn't start until dude got a hold to a SGI system. So that's where it lived. And it finally made its way over to X Windows later on. And I do believe it's like mandatory rollout for a business PC. That's something all your users should experience year round.
Definitely. And you can put it on their older computers and it will take lots of CPU cycles.
That's the spirit, Steve. Festive meteorites. That's what we need.
Yes. Festive meteorites.
Now,
absolutely.
Something that might not, Xsnow might not work with Wayland. And that could be a problem. Could be a problem.
Very true, Finn.
On Fedora 36. What am I talking about? A proposed change. What moon future are we living in? Wayland by default with the NVIDIA proprietary drivers. This is a bold move. This is. I mean, Wayland's going to be default for the AMD hardware right now. And you're like, okay, that's neat. This is going to default with the NVIDIA proprietary. I think it's $495 and after. So next spring, Fedora plans to set Wayland by default. And it's going to default directly to that, but you're still going to have the option to roll it back to X. So don't panic. Granted, now this is only a proposal, but I'm kind of excited about it because more eyes, more better. Because you got people like me, I'm not touching Wayland until it's done. And what I mean by that is until I have to and there's no option B. I will cold dead hands.
It's going to be a while.
I have no desire. Okay, I take that back. In here, I should put the emphasis on that. Like playing around laptops, it's fun to play with, but I wouldn't want to try to set anything up and rely on it yet.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I know I have been in contact with one of the developers of Fedora, and he was saying they have been working really hard to work out all the bugs from NVIDIA on Wayland. So I guess they're going to be ready for it. And this is Fedora, and they rolled out Wayland and PopWire, of course, Wayland with X, and then Pipewire, and that's working great. So I think they're going to do it right.
I like that.
Pipewire.
System 76, call me. Licensing, we'll work it out.
Pipewire. That's a good one, Ben.
It's an email client,
I
just
know.
to confuse people. What's really got me on this is like this weird universe of just having proprietary NVIDIA drivers during setup with Fedora, because Fedora was still to some extent today. I got to play with modern Fedora. I really need to, because I know a lot of stuff is optional, like copy repos during install, but that wasn't there for the longest time. Okay, let's make it usable and get all the, MP3s and stuff like that. They were very late to that game, but it's very exciting. Yeah. I like to see this. So
absolutely.
Now, whatever reason, Jill's like, you know what? The creator of App Images hasn't blown Vin up on Twitter in a minute.
In a while, yeah. So this is App Image Pool. It's a GUI front end for managing, downloading, and finding app images from appimagehub.com. And App Image Pool is actually a really nice app image app store made for Linux using Flutter. It's one of the most fleshed out app image options out there for managing images on your desktop. And some of the features include the ability to download a specific version of an app image file. So you can, and that's actually really cool. So with Blender, you can download an older version or a newer version. And you can filter applications by categories on the left-hand side in the panel. And it actually looks very similar to the Software Center on Ubuntu. And it has a download progress icon. You can manage all installed app images, view the download history, and it even has a light and dark modes you can choose from. And it's really really well done. I was really impressed with it. And you can download App Image Pool as an app image, of course, or as a flat pack. Isn't that interesting?
No, it needs to be a snap. We need to come full circle on this. This needs to be crazy.
There we go.
I did. I was rolling over the GitHub page and I got down to installation. It was like flat pack. I'm like, oh yeah. Having a central repository. That's something I didn't have the heart to write back to the creator of App Image. Because he was very with zeal saying app images should be deployed by individual developers on their website, and that's where you should download them. And I get it.
We need both worlds.
The other part of me was like, well, not having a central repository could also have contributed to app images never really being a big thing.
Yeah, they never really took off
because people don't have time to go to individual sites and update stuff. And the only app image that I normally will download is KDN Live, because I just I love that crew, and I always want to take a little peek at what they're up to. And
that's how we test it.
Yeah,
whenever there's a new release, that's what the app image. And other apps too. I download the GIMP as an app image. Shotcut, lots of programs.
I would say with GIMP, the limited amount of stuff I do with GIMP, I just hang on to whatever's installed. The old version is what I'm running.
Okay.
A GUI.
Yes. Yeah. So what's really, really wonderful is with App Image Pool, I actually tested it and downloaded the classic Tron game, Armageddon Game Tron. Remember that, folks, from back in the day? And one of the very first games on Linux. So I downloaded the Armageddon Tron advanced version for a test and then launched it by double-clicking it in the installed tab. Now, in the installed tab, it wasn't obvious that you could double click it and run it. So that's my only suggestion, is that there is maybe a little run feature or load like in other app repository GUI front ends. So that would be nice. But it's definitely a wonderful app, and one of the nicest ones to download app images on. But like you were saying, Vin, about the developer, we had talked about AppMan, a universal app image installer that works like apt in the terminal. Mm-hmm. We talked about that in September, and that's what the developer, when we were talking about it, he was not happy with that app, like you were saying.
Well, I mean, you need something like this. Now, it does raise the question, where does this database pull from?
Yeah, this one pulls from appimagehub.com. So it's one that I use, was using every day anyways. So, yeah.
It's still sacrilege.
Yeah.
VR.
But I do get it. I do get the developer's point.
I don't. Neither does anyone else.
Well, in the early days of app images, that was a thing. So that was a thing, to be able to download them on individual sites, and like you did with EXEs back in the Windows days. So I understand that. But I personally like today's day of having a hub for all the things.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, people like horses, but we don't ride them anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Wrong show, Vin. The horse.
SVR is Simula VR.
Yes.
This is something I learned about, and I just wanted to give it a mention because I thought it was kind of neat. Because I've definitely brought this up on shows before. Is this is where VR has my interest as a desktop? You know, allowing you to run a 2D you know, just Linux apps with. But this is kind of like a snack pick. It's a little bit of a preview. Takes less than a minute to install. It does require you to have a toaster to put on your head. That's up to you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's compatible with Steam VR headsets, anything with a Linux driver. They're working on their own VR headset, and they even have a low pass filter that makes text look less worse. Still looks bad, but less bad.
Yeah.
And it's going to, it's not going to. It currently supports anything with the optional OpenXR backed in. So go play with it. This doesn't see the text not there yet. When I say the text not there, the display, the headsets, the hardware is not there yet. Because I want to, you know, currently right now, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I have 7 monitors. And every one of them is being used. Not just like, oh, I got one. No, they're full. I would like this virtualized. I would like that headset, put it on, and like, boom, you know what? 7 monitors. Let's have 20 or just one massive wraparound one and something like that. You know, I'm not interested in the Minority Report stuff because if you ever played with a Wii nunchucks after about 3 minutes, you're like, I'm out of shape. Put those things down. But what we need is like light headsets, wireless headsets, and resolutions above 11DK before.
Yes.
Because we address things like the text. You remember like first gen, like the first Android device? It was rough looking, man. Like before we had high resolution, small screens. Like you don't want to live that texty life where you're like, At least I don't.
Well, you know, one of the things I'm looking really forward to this regarding is the innovation that it will create. Being used as a standard desktop, I can see so much wonderful development and use cases for it for, say, people with accessibility issues. So I think this is a huge deal. And I think it's really neat that they're going to be actually putting out a hardware-based headset called the Simula One, which already has the Linux-based OS, Simula OS, baked in, which is really neat. So it'll be the first VR headset with Linux installed on it. And to be able to use it on all your other headsets, like the Vive and the Oculus, that's a game changer. So this is wonderful development. And I can see this really taking off.
They got a video demonstration. Let's see what this thing looks like in action. Let's see what it looks like in action. Boom. Okay, we got to do better than this video. Here we go.
There we go. Yeah, that's what you want, Vin, for all your monitors.
Something roughly.
Kind of. Yeah. Maybe instead of having, you having to move your head around, have all the screens on the VR panel at once in order.
I want them flying at my head, so I have to dodge them constantly.
There we go.
I'm just looking at the audio listeners. This is pretty much what you're visualizing. A crude look, we got top open. Of course, I probably would if I could just spin up an extra monitor. When you're thinking about stuff like that.
Yeah.
To that point, I want to see the use cases that will develop from this once having an extra display is not like, I need to go buy a monitor and have a video card that supports more than 4 displays. When it just becomes like, I want another display. Why does it look like a Cheeto? Because it can.
Yeah, true.
So I think we're going to see some interesting things come about that.
Absolutely.
Now, You thought you were going to get out of the show without me talking about some Linux audio stuff. You were wrong, because I want to talk about yet another plugin format with the backing of UHE and Bitfig. So they are working on, currently, when you think about audio plugin format on Linux, we have LV2. I have some experience with LV2. I made a compressor plugin just to learn how to do it, and documentation on that, it's kind of scattershot. We have VST2, VST3. The problem with like VST3, which is kind of a popular one, is some of the licensing issues. It's free to use, kind of, unless they change their mind, then they're going to want some money. So people are kind of hesitant with it. Apple's got like their own proprietary thing, but I mean, come on. I just said Apple. You're like, yeah, we know. Some weird proprietary, like, yeah. Mm-hmm. And, there's other frameworks like Juice that you can play with, which doesn't work very well over X11 forwarding. So I don't use it. This is yet another contender that is going to be rolling out. And some early work has already been done with it. It's called Clap. I've been putting off saying what it was called because
yes,
really, that sounds like something we would have named.
Yeah.
Pure C ABI. People can develop any programming language they like. Liberally licensed. Fast plugin scanning. That's something VST is absolutely missing. And a couple of people are backing this. Like when I saw Bitwig was messing around, I'm like, they're going to be including this. And I'm like, it is not ready for production yet, but this is going to be our wonderful feature. It's up on GitHub, couple of repos. You got regular Clap, the Clap host. Can't make this up. Clap plugins, Clap helpers, and Clap Juice extensions, which is probably the worst one.
Then I have to say this: clap on, clap off, clap on, clap off the clapper.
The Clap host, man. I don't even know what to say. I mean, come on. It's something we can get over because look, me and you just had a conversation about the GIMP.
Yes.
Without even thinking twice. You think somebody is unfamiliar with open source software? I'm like, wow, they're talking about the GIMP.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Open source projects have a long and proud history of questionable naming. So
yes, absolutely.
We welcome our new Clappy plugin format.
Yes.
Now, speaking of Apple, though, Apple did it good. Apple helped out.
Yes, they did.
They poured one out for our penguins, and Hector just put out a little tweet. Hector's working on, how do you say, what's Akashi?
Asahi Linux.
It was something. That he's basically been reverse engineering the M1 architecture and getting like a real full blown Linux up and running on it. They've made amazing progress. But Hector writes, looks like Apple changed requirements for the Mako kernel files in 12.1, breaking our existing installation process. And they also added a new raw image mode that will never break again and doesn't require Makos. So, just reading through this and like to his point, he cannot think of a single reason why they had that for themselves.
Yeah.
They build their own Makos with their own processes. They have no use for raw images. They're saying, hey, use this. It's easier and we won't break it in the future. Asahi for the,
Yeah.
So that's kind of interesting. Now, I've already seen the naysayers. Like, well, Apple just wants to make sure that people can buy our M1s. Now, this does get interesting and make servers out of them. Okay.
Absolutely.
Soon as not being an early adopter, always saving money because that M1 Mini, that first gen M1 Mini is going to be in my house at some point because I want to play with it. I want to see what it's going to do.
Absolutely.
Unless, but then Apple, we're going to have full blown Linux running with. One thing I'm waiting on is GPU acceleration, and that is very much in the works. But Apple is going to turn around and release. We haven't seen what Apple can do with this chip yet. This has been some low key stuff. Because I fully believe Apple's going to drop like something like a 70 core M series, be it an M2 or something like that for their pro workstation and charge 70 cores worth of Apple, We're talking about the company.
The next,
the $1,000 metal stick for the monitor company. So,
yeah. And the next iteration of the M1 Max.
I think definitely the Mac Pros. Maybe they can make like a bigger trash can. You think?
Yeah, very true.
Yeah.
Well, I was really happy about this news also, Ven. And honestly, yeah, this is a big deal that Apple has given to the Linux community. But Apple does run Linux on the back end and does contribute to Linux kernel and driver development. In fact, they actively seek out Linux kernel developers and driver developers. So, and I really think that now Apple realizes that lots of Linux developers are using their laptops and computers. And so much effort has gone into cracking the M1 code to get Linux on there. So it's nice that they threw us a bone, right?
They're definitely, I want to say somebody on the engineering side, this is like something like, hey, do you mind if we just change this by reasons, this person thing you don't have to worry about, just sign off on that. I'm like, all right, cool, we got you. It's not any higher than that, as far as like C-level, anybody at Apple's like, we love Linux. Mm-hmm. But it's good that they did this. Mm-hmm. It's good that they did this and that they haven't been openly hostile to allowing for Linux development, because Apple, like most companies, realize like, make it reasonably easy so our, people just don't immediately go tearing into it. So
yeah,
Linux on Macs. That's always.
True.
Have you? I got a Mac to put Linux on and ended up giving it to someone because they needed a computer. I mean, this has been years ago. So I've never had a Mac at any of my houses with just playing around with like Yellow Dog Linux or anything like that. I guess on a modern Mac, what do you just run? Their x86. It doesn't matter anymore. So, well, they used to be.
Yeah, you can put. Yeah, you can put Ubuntu on it. I have Macs from every generation in my collection. I honestly have over 100 Macs in my collection.
It's a nice round number.
Yeah.
Now,
and most of them have Linux on them.
Well, then they're worthless. They're not being. Yeah, they should be vintage, man. Period. Correct. Come on.
Oh, well, some of them I have dual boot, so that I have the original.
That's even worse,
like
man. I mean, if you're a true Mac collector, you wouldn't have Linux running on them.
Oh yes, because I get to put Linux on all the things, on all my vintage computers. That's the point.
It destroys the value.
No, it makes them useful. You could surf the internet with them, modern internet.
I saw somebody. What did they get? They had an Amiga video came out. I'm spacing on the. It's tech YouTuber. Retro, and he got the Amiga up and running with a modern for the Amiga browser. And like,
yes.
I watched that for what it is. I'm like, that's neat. And of course, there's always the person in the comments like, yes, now you could totally use the Amiga. It's completely just like, get out of here. Stop. I mean, you either need like psychological help or a reality check. I mean, it's fun to play with. It's neat, but come on. You're not a daily driver. Don't.
No. But I do know someone that uses the Pi Amiga software and does do a lot of work with it on Workbench.
Maybe developing Amiga stuff, but
yeah,
this is like the reality of it. Because the one word you can't finish that sentence with, they do a lot of productive work. I'm like, you're dealing with something with a fractional amount of power compared to the original Raspberry Pi. So
yeah.
I mean, they're fun to play around with. Fun.
It's just fun to play with other classic operating systems.
Oh, it is. And it's fun to make stuff do it's things that's not supposed to 100%.
Things they weren't in.
I'm actively following the development of the original Game Boy Wi-Fi cartridge you guys developing.
Oh, yeah.
He's currently got it to the point where on the original Game Boy, you can connect Wi-Fi and pull Wikipedia articles up in real time. Like, that is fascinating.
So cool.
Does it have any practical use? Not a one, but very interested in stuff like that. So, what do we got? Oh, we need to thank some people. Jill,
Yeah.
we do our patrons.
We
if you like
do.
what we do, you want to support us, kick us. That's how we finance this nonsense. Patreon.com/Linux Gamecast. We got a ton of levels. That's how you can get a little access to community things. Like we got our own little Trackmania server so we can hide away from the rest of the internet. Actually, it's going to be streaming on Twitch. But if you do want to hide away from the rest of the internet, we have a Discord where we're at the other 6 days of the week having interesting conversations. I would like to try to encapsulate it, but it would be a fool's errand because it goes places, random places. It's technical stuff, but it's also things like, really, you guys are going to start playing a Dark Souls board game? All right, fine, I'll watch.
Yeah, there you go.
But we get IRC. It's always free. It's completely open. Everything's tied up for a live show together between Twitch chat, IRC chat, and Discord. If you're wondering why you see the bot, if you see Chatbot popping up in any of those, that's what it is. So we can all talk to each other. But what were you saying, Joe?
Yeah, so we have a wonderful active Discord. It's amazing, 24 hours.
Everything you said was true.
Yeah.
We have a active Discord.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And we have some of our wonderful patrons that have increased their pledges to us. Nubbin, thank you so much. And Romeo Sid Vicious. Aw, thank you so much. Big hugs from your Linux Gamecast family.
And we have a brand new patron showing up.
Yeah, Rue. Rue's a new patron. And I love that name.
I don't know. You gotta be careful with stuff like that. You'll be like, oh yeah, it's clearly Rue. And I'm like, no, it's Ro UX.
Roux?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I remember that even like in grade school, like the first day of class, and they were going through it.
Yeah, trying to figure out people's names.
I always had time if I realized they were going by first name, I'm like, well, I got a minute, and they'd get my name, I'm like, oh, go ahead, try to mess that up somehow. You can't. It's
yeah.
Right, it's like messing up Bob or something. Right.
Yeah.
Or Jill.
Then mine's Jill. Yeah.
Right.
it's hard. The kids would sometimes call me Lidge, but
I mean, outside of that, you don't have to worry about it, right?
yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. We got a holiday / diabetes.
Ooh.
That looks horrible.
Oh, it's got candy canes on it and holiday M&Ms. Green and red holiday and M&Ms.
No, they're Skittles. No.
No, that wouldn't be good on there.
I don't know. See, I'm assuming this thing fights back. That's why there's not one but 3 forks.
But this does look like a vanilla cream pie with peppermint. Oh, a peppermint bark cream pie, which Jill would love.
I saw a guy on Reddit earlier this week that made a pizza with candy canes on it.
Oh, yeah, that would be a little minty, wouldn't it? With their cheese.
They melted it. It was a landscape of nightmares.
Yeah. Ugh.
So, you're walking around the house and you're thinking to yourself, man, my keyboard blinks. That's awesome. My mouse blinks a little bit. That's pretty tight, man. Even the lights in the ceiling, I got them blinking, man. I'm living this RGB lifestyle. But you'd be wrong because there's more things left to blink.
Yeah. So we talked about how you can bring holiday cheer to your Linux desktop. So why not use Linux and a Raspberry Pi to light your Christmas tree? Yay! And you could put it in lots of beautiful lighting modes, all the different colors of RGB rainbow vomit. That would work. And all you need is a Raspberry Pi with Wi-Fi. And this creator used a Raspberry Pi Zero V2. And you just need a string of NeoPixel lights, 5-volt power supply, green electrical tape, and a case, a Raspberry Pi case. And it's actually fairly easy to set up the software. You can do it set it up either direct or headless.
Is this thing a Christmas button?
Yeah. Yeah, look at all those RGB colors that you can pick with the Node Red program. That's what he used. And it looked like wiring the LEDs to the Pi is actually a fairly simple process because of that breakout header on the Raspberry Pi. and all you have to do is connect the ground and signal cables from the LEDs. And but you can go to our show notes for all the details on the tutorial for installing all the software and doing all the things. And it doesn't look like it's going to take very long to do. So this is something you could do just before Christmas. So that's why we picked it.
Part of me wanted to, I kept my mouth shut because I wanted to say, man, isn't that overkill using a Pi 0W for a light control? And I remember what I'm using a Pi 4 for. I'm like, all right, shut up. No kill, like overkill. Blinking trees.
Yeah.
That seems like a light source. Because admittedly, when I first, because you wouldn't notice it in here, but all the lights, 7 lights in here. Mm-hmm. Take it back, 8. All are RGB, blinking, but they're bulbs, but they get that option.
The bulbs you can adjust. Yeah.
I've done that once. I open up the Android controller app and it sees all the bulbs and it's got one mode that's like disco or something. I hit that once. Mm-hmm. After I crawled my way back off the floor, I cut it off and never again. Now they're all just set to like a blue. So, I mean, that's neat that it's got an app, I guess. You could play around with it. I just get bored.
Yeah.
Easy. It'd be red when I got done with it. I'm like, red tree. There we go.
It's not a very well done app. It kind of looks like a flow chart to the color wheel. And I actually have a friend who used a Raspberry Pi and the app X Lights to not only control his Christmas tree, but has created an amazing light show timed with music on his house and front yard. So you can even, extend this to your outdoor lighting as well.
That's right, kids. Inflict it on your neighbors because you don't like them.
Yes. Yeah.
That would be like, imagine living in the same neighborhood. I was going to say next to her, even across or even down the street. The guy who does the Christmas and Halloween music video light shows every year on YouTube.
Yes.
Millions of views. Yeah.
The good ones. Yeah.
Oh, man. The full-on productions now. And somebody's living next to him going, I remember when this didn't happen. Because you got to.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, I didn't have to have blackout curtains on the side of the house, but I do now. That's the thing. Hey, if you want to tell us about how you've made things blink, be it a pumpkin Christmas tree or, a reindeer. Don't make reindeers blink. It's nasty business, kids. You can do that. Head over to our web zone, linuxgamecast.com. Hit this contact button. That's the thing. Send us some email. Mm-hmm. We'll get it like Sanja did. Sanja writes, hey, about that OBS virtual webcam. I'm like, oh, no. This is
nice.
Why did I? Says, hey, thanks, mate. I've tried several tutorials. Nothing worked except for this one. Because, see you said, none of them mentioned to install Linux headers, install headers, and restart it. Receive bacon. He didn't throw that in. I did. Then everything worked smoothly. That's why I do the interfacing Linux stuff. That's why I do the OBS basics things. I need to do more. I've been busy the past couple of weeks. But, the best tutorial, I should say, is one that's accurate. And people really struggle on that second part.
Absolutely.
And that just irritates me. Things that are not outlined and documented correctly. Proper technical documentation after I spent all day yesterday and the past 2 weeks piecing together poorly documented attempts at setting up Trackmania servers or Trackmania 2 server Stadium. That was the accumulation of like, have I documented it yet? No. So I'm going to shut up, but you get my point. Thanks, man. I'm glad that worked out for you. Now,
very nice.
On that same Trackmania theme, Katana had a suggestion, Joe, because I had the idea of calling our team 5G for no reason. It just seemed like a good round number.
So Katana Steel in chat said, for 5G, here was his phrase: grizzled, grumpy, gaming, grandpa's, grading, game, getting, great. So, that's 8G. Katana, but I like it. Grumpy, gaming, grandpa's, except when I pop in, there'll be a girl too that's grumpy and gaming. But I don't get grumpy, so.
I don't know, man. Katana, you're impervious to arithmetic, my man. That's a lot of G's.
Yeah.
I don't know.
A lot of G's. 1, 2, 3, 4,
That's
5, 6, 7. There is 8. Yeah, there is 8. He was accurate.
I don't know if we deserve that many G's. I was feeling a little stingy, a little bloated at 5, 8. That's just flaunting it, man. That's just flaunting it.
Oh, Arthurian has it right. Grumpy grandmas. So grizzled, grumpy, gaming, grandpas and grandpas. I was going to say in grandmas, grading game, getting
the
great.
end in there.
Yeah, I can't have the end.
Geriatrics.
So that doesn't work. Geriatric. Grandma's, grandpa's grading game, getting great.
Still open to suggestions. I'm taking themes here. Yeah. We need some for the t-shirts.
Yes. Very nice, Katana. I love that.
Thanks for writing in. All right. Well, hey, thanks for showing up for this holiday edition, because that's what it is. We'll be back next week. Jill, you were going on holiday.
Yeah, I'm going to be on holiday, so someone is filling in for me. I wonder who that is.
It'll be a surprise. So
yes.
We'll see you next week. We're going to roll the credits. Thanks for showing up. And yeah, here they come. If I can hit buttons.
Yeah. We love you all, our wonderful patrons. Oh. Thank you, Romeo Sid Vicious, for the sub as well. And for increasing your pledge. Thank you so much. Wow. And again, thank you, Nubbin, for increasing your pledge. And to Rue, our new patron. And thank you to all our wonderful patrons here on Linux Gamecast and LWW.
Popwire's the future.
Our Sea Monsters, our Death Notes, our advisors. Yeah, that's you, Arthurian. Our chairlings. We love you all. And I can't believe LWW is 306.
I can. I've been here for a long.
Yeah. Happy holidays, everyone.
Hail Santa, everyone. 4423.
Okay. I was happy we got a couple feedbacks. It was nice.
Well, I'm still sitting on the the crazy one I was telling you about from DistroWatch last week. You remember that? Like that email would take 3 weeks, like 3 segments
to go through.
To get through, to analyze it. All right. Oh, is Freenode still a thing?
Oh boy.
Like, serious question. Where do you go to monitor
you know
Freenode
what?
usage?
I heard it is still going, but
well, I know it's still
I haven't
up,
looked at the news. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Becco Farm. Yeah, had to change LGC IRC servers. So
yeah, we changed that last year.
Quite a while ago. Yeah.
With help from one of the
our patrons. Yeah, was it Aldius?
No.
I'm forgetting. Frezzo. Oh yeah, of course, the wonderful Frezzo.
Frezzo took care of it. He's
yeah.
One of the peeps over there at
Brains at Meta Brains.
What is their chat thing called? I should know this. LibreChat.
Yeah, that's right.
He set up and reserved all of our things before we even thought about moving over there. And so it was just like waiting.
He did it really quickly, so we got our good name. Linux Gamecast.
I think that's it. See, this is where technology, because, you know, I mean, it is strange. It is strange because I remember all chat, all communications, be it any type of direct-ish communications was, for me, a mixture of IRC and whatever I had installed on Game, or at the time, the collection of other, all the chat clients, the AOL, the Yahoo Messengers, and all the other things.
Yeah.
And it is kind of interesting how, that is, these days for me, been condensed into, Discord.
Yeah. Discord. For me, it's Discord and Matrix.
Matrix, see, this is the joke. You can't talk about Discord in an open source with anybody. Somebody's going to bring up Matrix.
Yeah.
I mean, Freenode was just, that's where everybody was. You got to go where the people are.
Yeah.
That's just reality of it. And, I understand. I get it. Listen, I've been working with open source for 30 years. But I'll definitely see, especially larger open source projects, OBS has got it right. OBS has got a Discord channel. You don't have to like the soulless corporation behind Discord. That doesn't factor in. It's is that where the community is? Is that where the people are? Is that do you know why people use Discord and why it gets so popular? Because it's really good at what it does.
Yeah, it's really easy to use and get set up, and it does voice and video, and you can share files. It does everything all the other
Jill,
social networking.
Jill, have you heard about Matrix?
Yeah. Well, Matrix actually even does some things that Discord doesn't, but it doesn't do it quite as well, but it is getting better.
It's got one feature. It's missing one feature though.
Easy to use, easy to set up.
No, no. The critical feature Matrix is missing. Everyone's using Discord.
Matrix is growing though. Well, especially in the Linux community. Matrix is growing.
It's not even large enough to consider it a rounding
it's niche.
error. Yeah,
no, it isn't. But there's no other alternative to Discord.
IRC.
Yeah. Well, with IRC, you can't. You can send links to pictures, but you can't go on audio.
Exactly. That's the way it should be, Joe. Yeah. That's the way it should be, you kids with your wanting to send pictures.
But yeah, Matrix is slowly growing. It's slowly growing. The
biggest problem Matrix has is its fan base.
Yeah.
Because that's I have nothing against Matrix. It's just we have a running joke about it because it is 100% accurate. Anytime you bring up chat software, somebody's like, well, of course we've heard of Matrix. Go for it. Rock yourself. Yeah, I use Matrix. Or have you heard of Matrix? Why don't you have a Matrix? Because we got an IRC child. That's why. Why don't you come with some real tech with your fancy Matrix stuff?
Well, the biggest thing about Matrix is your messages, if you turn it on, can all be encrypted. So that is nice for security and whatnot. But I still prefer the user interface of Discord. It's a lot better. But Matrix is improving, that's for sure.
Well, that's the laziness and comforty thing. Having chatbot tied into IRC, man, because I don't know, we used to log into IRC all the time, and we still read IRC and we communicate with everybody in the IRC chat. If you're in IRC right now, type something, it'll show up on that screen right there.
Yeah.
And I can type
absolutely back. Dick Kresny.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, because that's the big deal about it is it's secure and decentralized, and I'm having to use it every day for work, so I've gotten used to using it.
I've always liked the idea of decentralization. It's eventually somebody will figure out a way to make it work. Because I like the idea of,
with all the
I like Mastodon, but then again,
yeah, I know.
That's the line you got to walk. Like I'm a huge fan of championing technologies, being behind it and supporting it, but don't fucking lie about them. That's kind of where I'm at.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because people are just like, no, everything's perfect, everything's great. And I have a big issue with people who do that with Linux. Be whatever distribution they're using. Like, no, everything, you just install it and everything's going to work and there's no problems and all that. Then that person installs Linux and they're going to run into problems. And that's going to give them a negative opinion. Not about the person who said everything works, about whatever they used.
Yeah. Oh, true. Well, for us, Discord is natural because it connected with the gaming and it's
I don't think I've ever used it for gaming.
It works with Patreon. Yeah. But of course Matrix doesn't have all those connections. It's those are growing. You can set up bots to go to and from Matrix from other social networking applications, but it's not as well-rounded as Discord's.
Well, it's like trying to get people to use Jitsi over Zoom.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll have somebody like, no, you need to be using Matrix. But you're using Zoom.
Yeah.
Really? Oh, yeah, that was a fun thing. It's kind of a footnote. I accidentally deleted Mr. Jitsi when I was setting up the Trackmania server.
Aww.
Smoked it from the earth and didn't have a recent backup of it to restore from.
Oh my goodness.
However, I have very good documentation that I've constructed for setting up Mr. Jitsi.
Oh.
And plus, like, setting up Jitsi with a turd server for authentication and getting the, certbot exists now. So it might have taken 10 minutes to get it back up. Yeah, that was during my process of, like, installing not ancient, but, like, CentOS 7 and stuff like that.
Oh, darn it, I love that gif. Existence is pain. I'm Mr. Meeseeks, look at me.
Oh, man.
Aw.
Reconstruction guide. What are we at? Next one. Okay. Mastodon over Twitter. I like the idea of Mastodon. Mastodon.
Yeah.
Has
I like toots.
I use Mastodon. Civic set us up a Mastodon thing, and I post on it. But here's one of the biggest problems I have with Mastodon. This is going to sound like this is a Venn problem. This is a streamer problem. I can't schedule toots.
Yeah. So I have mine scheduled through TweetDeck, and then a bot that goes to Mastodon. Yeah. That is a thing.
So, I still post to it. Like, I realize that I probably have like 10 or 12 people that follow me on Mastodon.
Yeah.
I've
noticed it's been growing, actually. I've got a lot of new followers recently, which is kind of nice.
I have no idea. Let's find out how many followers I have. I got a couple of hundred on Twitter.
Oh, yeah. We sure do, man. I'm well over 1,000 now. Wow.
How many people follow me on Twitter? Let's see.
Yeah, Katana. Yeah, it's...
Oh, okay. I got more than a couple hundred, apparently. All right. So...
Yeah, I think I had like 80, something like that, last I checked.
Mastodon.
Unmasked.
Come on. Go to my... How do I even get to it?
I know I haven't logged into Mastodon on this computer in a while because I usually use it on mobile.
I have it on mobile. I have it on this. I post. Let me rephrase that. I post on... I don't use Mastodon to the... how do I get my cursed profile? Come on. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. There I am. I got
there you go.
130. See, I posted 1.75 Ks.
Yeah. Well, you post every day on there.
That's being generous.
Do.
Strider is, I don't know. Strider is come and go with social media things. He
is.
That's how he rolls, man.
He was on there for a lot, talking all the time, and then he kind of took a break from it. But he pops up occasionally.
That boy lets himself get worked up.
Yeah. Aw.
That's all right. Perhaps, what? Oh. Is there anything good to buy on Steam?
The new Baldur's Gate.
That's
kind of cool. I haven't bought it yet, but...
Hang on, was my audio breaking up? I said good. Baldur's Gate. Come on, man. I can't play Baldur's Gate.
I like Baldur's
I got a
Gate.
reputation to maintain, Jill. How do I even get to the wish list thing? Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. It has been almost 2 hours, Steve. So of course you've logged me out and not remembered me on this computer. Of course you have.
Oh, the update.
Yeah, if you're ever feeling useless, think about the Remember Me button at store.steampowered.com.
Yeah, I know. I use that all the time, but when they do major updates, sometimes that...
Major updates?
Then you have to log back in. Especially in the beta when we have so many coming. Nice art there, Aaron.
Okay, now I'm authenticated.
Darkwing, I actually remembered you arguing with Strider on Mastodon. I remember that conversation.
How do you even get to your wish list? Categories. Your store?
You go to the store and it's in the top right corner.
Ah, it's on top. All right.
Yeah.
Is there anything? Nope. God of War's not out yet. Next month. I'm looking forward to that. No, I'm not paying. I've been looking at Bright Memory Infinite. I might pick that up. That looks okay. If you haven't heard about that, I show you that, and your first thought is going to be,
Oh, yeah, this game. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I have that in my wish list, too.
That doesn't mean anything. Have you seen Jill's wish list? It's everything.
I have everything on there, yes.
Yeah. I've looked at you. It's like, I get Jill something from her wish. I was like, man, you just put everything on here. I don't know what you want and what you just put on there.
Aww.
So you're definitely getting some vibes of Shadow Warrior from this.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. Yeah. There's
Trackmania 2
wheeling the knife
50%
around.
off. Yeah, buy it. Buy it and come hang out with us Friday. You don't have to be on, your car will be on the stream. You don't have to get in Discord if you don't want. It's got driving segments.
Yeah, you could
But
still
most
come
importantly,
in
it's got a little bunny rabbit on your car when you're driving that bounces up and down.
Aw. Yeah, so
might pick that up.
I will definitely pop into Trackmania at some point. I can't the next couple weeks because it's the holidays and I'm going to be busy with family.
So everybody else,
want to do that.
I want you to put your families on hold and come play with me Friday. All the cool people, I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, this is another thing. We need something approachable and we need something cheap. Full price, this thing's $9.99. It's currently $5 right now. So, and setup is smash that Proton button, fam, and you're done. And by the way, yes, the server runs on Linux.
Yeah, it's nice. But that's something fun to do Christmas Eve. A lot of people don't hang out with family on Christmas Eve. They do Christmas morning.
See, Jill,
I
normal
do both.
people do everything in their power to avoid family during the holidays.
Yeah, this year's different because we're not on lockdown. And last year we were on lockdown, so I couldn't see family and friends, and it was just me and Steve celebrating Christmas together. And that was quite fun. But I miss my family.
The only joy I took out of Shadow Warrior 2 was watching Jordan try to use that HUD map. Jordan is very incompatible with game maps, especially when there's multiple levels involved.
Yeah, he doesn't like that. I remember from playing with him a lot. He'd always forget about the maps.
What is there any games you ever caught Steve play? Does he have like Candy Crush or some nonsense like that on his phone?
Sudoku. That's what he's into.
Samurai Warriors? I don't think I've ever played that.
He does like golf with friends. I got him to play that once, and now he has a laptop he can play golf with friends on. But he hasn't done that yet. I even got it set up and testing on his,
you gotta get him his
little
computer.
Chromebook.
You need to get him a 3D printer.
Well, he has one of those.
Does he use it?
He hasn't yet. No,
oh, okay.
It's still sitting on the desk in his studio. Sorry, Steve husband. The cat's out of the bag. No, but it's because he has access to ones that are millions and millions of dollars at work. So that's honestly.
I thought Steve liked the creation, the challenge aspect of being able to. I mean, yeah, if I got access to a CNC machine, but that's not. Well, I kind of do. I kind of broke it one time, so they're a little iffy. They don't let me use it anymore, but I can bring stuff in. But yeah, having one at home, I've really been, because I have one, but it's ancient. I'm torn.
That's right.
Because I know I'll go crazy with it. I'm like, oh, I can build this, and I can build this, and I can build this.
Yeah. So once Steven starts using it, he needs to learn how to use the software and everything. Once he gets it going, then I'm going to be printing out stuff too.
You hear that, Steve? She's waiting on you to get it set up for her.
I'm doing that on purpose so that because he has to learn how to do it. So, and he got an easy one to start learning and using.
See, now I'm imagining something like a Fisher Price.
No. Well, I think where he works did make a 3D printer at one point for kids. Yeah, they did actually at one point.
I don't know. I got like one thing I want to build with a 3D printer, but you can just send it off and get it done. It's like you don't understand the amount of prototyping I'd have to do.
I had to send them up. I built one and set one up in our class for my students to use on Linux, and that was really fun. That was like 5 or 6 years ago now.
Yeah, they're like wicked simple. I was watching what was Ben Heck got a new one in on one of his.
Oh,
I just closed it because I watched it for a few minutes. I'm like, I want that. It's probably like a $4,000 one.
Yeah. I love Ben Heck videos. They're great. I'm so happy he's still around after the whole collapse of the original network he was on.
I think that network's still there, isn't it? What was it called?
I'm even spacing on the name. God. Hack 5 was on there. I don't think it's around anymore.
No, it wasn't Hack 5. Hack 5, Darren's had his.
Well, he was on that one at one point.
Element 13?
No. Revision 3. So all those Hack 5 and yeah, a lot of them were under the umbrella of Revision 3. That was it. I was trying to remember the name. Thank you.
There we go.
Thank you, DeCresney.
It wasn't Element 13. He was from the Element 14 series. That was the one he was
Yeah. Yeah, that was his that's his company. But at one point, he was on the Revision 3 network, his videos. In fact, that's where I first found him. He was on Revision 3 with Hack 5, Veronica Belmont. You remember they were all part of that.
Yeah, the Ben Heck show, I think, is what I'm coming from. Yeah, he did the Ben Heck show. But yeah, I think what I was saying is Element 14 is, I don't know if they're still around. It's still,
yeah, his company.
It wasn't his company.
Yeah, that's right. Because when Revision 3 died, yeah, they split off.
Element 14 has been around for a
Shannon
while.
Morse is still creating videos, but she's not on. She's independent now, which is cool.
Really?
But yeah, a lot of the tech YouTubers got their start on Revision 3. It was after Tech TV, and a lot of the producers went over to Revision 3. Now, it's all coming back. Yeah, snubs, honey. I like snubs.
Let's see, 22. Archive.org, man. That's how you know.
Yeah. Revision 3. So that's where I found him. Isn't that where he got his start? Was on Revision 3? I don't know. So...
Yeah, Revision 3 was the Dig Kids put that together.
Yeah, the Dig Nation. Yeah.
Alex.
And then when Tech TV went under, then a lot of those YouTubers went over to Revision 3. They all kind of came together.
Yeah, Darren's network is Hack
Darren
5.
Kitchen. Yeah. Yeah, Snubs does still do Threatwire. Yeah, that I know. I occasionally watch them. But yeah, she had moved to Colorado, Denver.
Okay. On purpose?
Yeah. The tech community is growing there, and even the System 76 community is growing there, as we know.
I mean, if you want to like get high and be cold, go for it.
Yeah. Well, she moved there because the prices were cheaper to buy a house, and she wanted a bigger house than what she could afford in San Francisco.
I was about to say that's only somebody like living in New York or San Francisco would go to Colorado to get something
or
cheaper.
LA. Yeah.
Colorado's expensive too, man. That's cool. That's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. Yeah, because I do follow her independent. She does ones on her anime collection, and she does her own videos on products and vlogs on locations and neat things around town. Yep, that's best of all, right, Steve Husband. There's Empty killing Mir.
Well, I wonder if Empty figured out his DaVinci Resolve problem.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. Apparently, for the first time that I've ever ran across, DaVinci Resolve is selling direct to consumer at least a DaVinci Resolve key that you can get from their web zone that initial reports doesn't work.
Empty, did you get yours to work? That's actually good for me to know for my students.
Let's see. Oh, there was an update yesterday to DaVinci Resolve that they didn't tell anyone about. Let's see. Now, there's another possibility that their key activation server is down, which wouldn't be the first time. Address startup crashes. Still getting Linux stuff going on. 3D text, blah, 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 blah. ProRes stuff, lots. Addresses of no. Add VST support to Linux, you morons. That would save me so much time if VST was supported in DaVinci Resolve. Like, geez, 30, 40 minutes each week. What I check is, what reason I'm going to the forums is I'm seeing if there's posts like, I can't activate, but I'm not seeing problems using speed enter. Yeah, I don't. Usually if the server's down, you'll see a couple of posts. People like, it's broke. G4's back, man.
Yeah, that's going to be strange.
It is strange. It's been back.
Yeah.
They got a Twitch channel. Go check it out. I mean, it's constantly got like 2,000 people watching it.
Oh, yeah, on Twitch. Yeah, they were talking about coming back on cable. And I'm like, why? That's what I thought you meant.
Yeah, cable. Man. That's weird. Sometimes you go over to somebody's house and they have cable TV or satellite TV. Like,
yeah, and you're just like, oh, those are the old days.
Why? And of course, I'm going to pick up your phone and see if you got a dial tone. Because there's still people that got landlines.
They get that 3-pack, you know?
3-pack?
The cable 3-pack. They get, you get a discount with your internet if you have their cable and they throw it all in their phone. So that's what they call a 3-pack to get you started.
You're only
services.
Then you got to be the person that falls for, we're going to save you money by charging you more.
Yeah. Well, what it is, you save money.
I understand
like
how combo deals work, but that's only if you add the other two things that you don't want.
You don't want it, yeah.
So I get a lower price on this one thing that I do want if I give you more money than I initially would if I got this by itself.
Doesn't make sense, no. That's their selling. That's how they sell to people who are naive.
I don't have any feelings towards G4. I checked out of watching G4, and that was during that lovely transitional period where, especially like cable companies and network TV were like, we're not posting things online because it'll cost us viewers. And like, man, you guys better start building your online viewership because that's where it's going, kids. And a lot of networks have been linked to that party. But yeah, I never saw G4 just because it wasn't
absolutely done
made available.
Done him. Yeah. I still prefer when it was ZDTV before it even became Tech TV. I was in one of the first markets to have ZDTV when it first started, and it was just awesome. And Tech TV was because they grandfathered in most of the shows, but then Tech TV started getting weird and turned into G4, and then all the tech shows went away, and it was all about gaming. I was like, oh. But I still, I liked X-Play. That was a fun game, fun show. Yeah.
Subscription. Well, I mean, everything's going to software as a service. Like one of the reasons you're seeing such a massive blow up with DaVinci Resolve, even though, there's definitely arguments like things with Pro Tools, not Pro Tools, what am I thinking of? Adobe's suite, Creative Suite, that they still need to get some feature parity with is that you can just buy DaVinci Resolve.
Behind. Yeah.
You can buy a copy of DaVinci Resolve. You don't have to deal with a subscription. And Adobe's like, no.
Yeah.
You software as a service. You got to pay us every month.
Yeah. It's so annoying.
So Adobe is very short-sighted in that that software as a service works when there's no competition. Mm-hmm. You can get away with that. But all it takes is the other party going, no, just buy it. We'll just give you free updates. I mean,
and a lot cheaper. Or you can just play with the free version for a while.
Well, you see, this is the gymnastics, though. I mean, it's cheaper to you if I only need to do a project with Adobe. And it's like, no, but it's cheaper to use Adobe for a month because it's only a couple of bucks versus spending that one-time payment of $300 for a copy of Resolve. Especially
until you start paying monthly. And
Well, that's the plan.
unless you're a student, when it's $25 a month, which is hard for a student when you have to pay $25 a month for the whole year. It's horrible.
You just
they
take it
make
out
more
of your
money
drug
that
budget.
way.
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing. The smaller monthly payments is like, hey, set it and forget it. You never have to worry about it. And it's slowly but surely like changing the landscape. And it's kind of a rough time for DaVinci because they're just smashing features into it right now. And
it's amazing.
To the cost
all the
of
AI that they've brought
some
into it.
Bugs. You're not just going to use it for one project, but that's the whole thing. I mean, people are locked into Adobe. You go look and find like boxed copies of the last version they sold of Adobe on eBay are ludicrously overpriced.
Yeah, I still have a couple in box, but I got them free through work. So that was nice.
All right, everyone. Speaking of work, I'm going to go transmogrify this, which would go a lot quicker, Blackmagic, if you would give me VST support. It would, and I know it's possible.
Okay, yeah.
That's
oh yeah, Donim. At least we still have Twit TV. I still I listen to This Week in Tech like every other Sunday or so, just to see what's going on in the regular tech news. But I already kind of know because I'm researching Linux tech news. So.
That was Twit was an interesting one because Twit was something that I used to always keep on in the background.
Yeah.
And everyone that I was moderately interested in left or got fired.
They all
every single person. There's nothing left for me to watch. So, but all of them went off and did their own things, which is great. So,
yeah.
I used to have to use Dreamweaver. That was a nightmarish. I mean, it worked. It worked as long as you could make everything work inside of Dreamweaver. If you ever had to debug any of that nonsense,
oh god, and the code was horrible. It was he always had to go through and clean it up. It was a mess. I would tell my students, don't use it, please. You're better off using a text editor to your basic HTML template.
In production, Dreamweaver was what I would always try to get the designers to prototype in because they would insist to use Photoshop.
Yeah.
And that's a bad way to template a website.
Definitely, yeah.
So, or at least then I tried, just if I was mean, I'm like, no, you got to use fireworks. Irritated people. I'm like, right, okay. But, yeah. Cool. XD for work, website designs. I don't know, man. Like, if you're designing websites for companies, like, they don't know any better. Just whatever. Just make it make it look pretty, make it look shiny. Just make sure you're using the most up-to-date version of Flash.
So true.
Okay. Yeah, I'm quit putting it off. Jill.
Okay. Bye, everyone. Love you.
Goodbye. And I'll be back Friday at 7:30, but in between then you can catch me in the Trackmania server. I'll be there doing laps, getting good because I'm serious about this. We're not playing. We're not playing to keep score unless I'm winning. So we probably won't be keeping score is what I'm saying. Tomorrow night, Jordan will probably be continuing his adventure through Cybertruck 2032.
Aw, yes, cool.
And maybe
Cyberpunk.
Just maybe he will remember to try to enable FSR so he can crack that mythical 31 FPS on his 1080. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Mike Katana, Art Theron, Steve Hessen, Becco Farm, and Foxdog.